Welcome to Sissygram Spicy Story Channel. If you like my voice, then hit the like button and do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Today I come up with whole new content of story. So, now let's start the story. For over 50 years, I had been a closeted crossdresser. My secret was only discovered once by my wife, who expressed her disapproval, labeling my behavior as perverted. During the 1970s, I worked for a major bank in the UK and spent 2.5 years working away from home, Monday to Friday, which gave me ample opportunities to embrace my cross-dressing persona, Alina. However, it was until 2 years before my retirement that I decided to create a false identity as Alina, based in San Francisco, using a fabricated email address and website. Having previously visited San Francisco on holiday with my wife, I was familiar enough with the city to speak about it confidently. To make the deception more convincing, I adjusted my computer's clock to align with Pacific time and sent an email to 18 recipients, 16 of whom were fictitious when addressed to my wife, and one sent to myself under another false identity, Maya, which I considered to sound distinctly American. The email read as follows. Hi ladies, Rose gave me your email addresses, thinking you might find my story interesting. I wanted to share what I did after discovering my husband cross-dressing. He's 54 years old. And when I caught him, he was wearing age-inappropriate purple satin lingerie, a G-string that barely covered him, a matching half-cup bra with nipple cutouts, a purple frilly garter belt, and black nylon stockings. I was furious, but managed to contain my reaction. I asked him how long he'd been dressing this way and why. He admitted to wearing lingerie for about 5 years, explaining that it aroused him. Right then, I decided to allow him to wear lingerie, but strictly on my terms. I wanted him to wear old-fashioned styles, mainly from the early 1960s, ensuring he wouldn't compete with me. I've attached 3 images showing what he looks like now in his lingerie. I found that my husband is far more docile these days and willingly helps with domestic chores. In fact, I often have him dress as a maid, but that's a story for another time. Perhaps you should consider dressing your husband similarly. I assure you, it's worth it. I attached 3 images to the email, which I had found on Flickr. They featured a cross-dresser, whom I guessed to be in his late 40s, wearing wigs and makeup. The first image depicted him in coral pink nylon lingerie, panties, a matching bra, and garter belt with black stockings and pink heels. His bra cups were filled with breast forms, commonly used by women post-mastectomy. The second image showed him wearing a pale pink full-length nylon slip, trimmed with lace at the hem and bust, with his black bra and panties faintly visible through the fabric. The third image displayed him in a long white nylon nightgown with puff sleeves, slightly transparent. After sending the email, I eagerly awaited my wife's reaction, but was met with silence. It was until 7 weeks later that something unexpected occurred. One Friday morning, as I prepared for work, I opened my underwear drawer to find it filled entirely with panties. Most were full-cut nylon briefs in white, though there were also French knickers, director knickers, and even 3 pairs of schoolgirl knickers. In bottle, green, navy blue, and brown. Surprised, I tried to protest to my wife, but she either ignored me or pretended to be asleep, left with no choice. I selected a pair of white full-cut panties and went about my morning routine. After showering and dressing, I slipped on the panties. The sensation was incredible, though I had to resist the urge to lose control. Apart from this change in underwear, I dressed normally for work, had breakfast, made my wife a cup of tea, and drove to the bank. I was convinced my staff could somehow tell I was wearing panties, though no one said anything. That night, dinner with my wife was silent. When we went to bed, I discovered my usual pajamas had been replaced with a double-layer, knee-length turquoise nylon nightdress. Once again, I refrained from protesting and put it on. I found the experience thrilling, though my wife continued to sleep with her back turned to me. Over the following weeks, my underwear drawer remained filled with panties. Occasionally, I tried other styles, including French knickers and pink nylon director knickers, the latter of which initially felt odd due to their length, but eventually became quite enjoyable. I still felt paranoid at work, worried that my secret might be discovered. Gradually, more items of women's clothing appeared in my wardrobe. My socks were replaced with stockings and suspender belts, most of which were white, though others came in various colors and designs, with some featuring broad satin panels. Despite initial difficulty fastening the suspenders behind my back, I soon mastered the techniques. A few weeks later, my vests disappeared, replaced by camisoles, teddies, and slips. These were typically made of soft nylon and trimmed with lace. While I could hide camisoles under thicker shirts, slips posed a greater challenge. At night, I continued wearing nylon nightdresses with the occasional see-through baby doll. Around this time, I began noticing changes in my body. My nipples itched, and I experienced mood swings, leading me to suspect my wife was secretly administering female hormones. About 8 months after the panties appeared, bras were added to my wardrobe. These were well padded, creating a pronounced bust line that was nearly impossible to conceal. Some bras even included breast forms that mimicked natural movement. Eventually, my wife announced that we had an appointment with the bank's UC department. At the meeting, she explained my situation to the EOCR manager, stating that I was preparing to transition and would need to live as a woman for at least a year before undergoing surgery. The ER manager suggested I begin dressing as a woman at work within 2 weeks. My wife readily agreed. Following this, we shopped for women's clothing appropriate for my role as a bank manager, as well as wigs styled to suit my age. On the appointed day, my wife drove me to work. I wore pink lingerie, a pink blouse that clearly revealed my bra, a brown pleated skirt, and modest makeup. My wig, a brunette perm, completed the look. At work, reactions were mixed. Some female colleagues showed curiosity at my attire, while others inquired about my personal life. Male colleagues largely avoided me, their expressions betraying discomfort or disapproval. 18 months later, I was offered early retirement. My wife insisted I accept. On my final day, my deputy, Alice, wished me well, her tone suggesting she disapproved of my situation. As I prepared for retirement, my wife revealed the next phase of her plan, a trip to Mexico for sex reassignment surgery. This, however, was not the outcome I had envisioned when I first sent the email pretending to be Alina. This is where the story wraps up. Share your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. See you next time.